are here in San Francisco's Chinatown, and today we are doing a pineapple bun tour. So everyone knows bolo baos or pineapple buns are really common pastry at all the Asian bakeries, especially in Chinatown. So these are really cool pastries because they don't have pineapple in them like the name suggests, but they are shaped and kind of look like a pineapple because they have a golden yellow crust and then a really fluffy bun inside. So we're going to be taste testing and trying out a bunch of different pineapple buns from different bakeries in this area and then letting you guys know which one is the best. So we'll be rating them based on the crust and the sugary exterior to see if it has good flavor and good crunch. And we'll also be rating it on a second criteria, which is the fluffiness of the bun. I'll be giving these a rating of 1 through 10, and then we'll average the scores, rank them up. Then we'll let you know which one is the best pineapple bun in the San Francisco Chinatown area. All right, let's go ahead and dig in and visit all these different bakeries in this area. We're gonna be walking around all these different blocks and we'll be picking up a ton of pineapple buns and letting you know how they taste. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Rachel and we are back from San Francisco's Chinatown with a ton of pineapple buns. We have 6 whopping pineapple buns, all of different sizes, variations, but pretty much the same flavor, I want to say, across the board. And we've got some oil-stained pink boxes here to symbolize the Chinese bakery lifestyle. If you've been to a Chinese bakery, you know they always package these Chinese pastries in a pastel pink box. So as a kid, this is what I would always look for in terms of sweet treats and goodies. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And yes, I'm a little OCD, so I went ahead and I organized all these buns on a baking sheet like this. And I labeled each bun with the bakery that I got it from. Let's go ahead and start with Napoleon Bakery. I also think they recently renamed to Stockton Street Bakery or something like that. So it used to be known as Napoleon, but now it looks like it's Stockton Street Bakery. Look at this beautiful bun. You can see it right here. It's got an interesting crust. I will say that the crust is a little bit more brown and not very yellow. Typically, when I think of pineapple buns, I think of a bun that actually looks like a pineapple with a yellow crust on it. But this crust is pretty tan. So let's go ahead and figure out what's going on with the Napoleon pineapple bun. I do not think we are starting out very strong. This is a very dry bun. The bread is just too dense for me, and the crust is just really dry and crumbly and lacks flavor. This pineapple bun from Napoleon Bakery is really just not doing it for me. If I had to rate this, I would give the crust maybe a 6 out of 10. I would also give the bun maybe even a 5 out of 10. It is like very dense, and like when I bit into it, it was like, it was chewy. I wanted it to be light and fluffy. But it was very dense. And as most of you already know, a fun little pineapple bun fact: pineapple buns do not contain any actual pineapple flavoring or taste within them. They are purely based on visual appearance, so they resemble a pineapple, which is why they're called pineapple buns, but they don't have any pineapple flavor. It just tastes like sweet bread, kind of like a concha almost, if you want to think of like a Spanish or Mexican equivalent. Okay, next pineapple bun, we are going to tackle the AA Bakery pineapple bun. It is probably the prettiest bun out of all 6 that I've got. It is really round and robust. The crust is really thick, but in a good way, and it's like a golden yellow color, and it really does look like a pineapple. It's very shiny as well, so I think they put like maybe an egg wash on the top to really ensure that shininess at the top. Oh. Well, the bread is better. Let's take another bite. All right, so this is what the inside of AA Bakery's pineapple bun looks like. I will say I'm pretty impressed. It is pretty tasty. It looked great and it also tasted great. I wouldn't say it's like the best pineapple bun I've ever had. I feel like there are some elements that could be better. Like the bread is still a little chewy. The crust is a little thick. I think when I took my first bite, I didn't really taste anything. I was kind of like, this feels very bland. But the more I got into the crust, the better it became. So I think the crust is actually really good once you get more towards the center because there's that better ratio of crust to bread. So for my ratings on this one, I would have to give the crust a 9 out of 10. It's pretty solid, y'all. It's a thick crust that's perfectly golden yellow and has a good amount of flavor as well. The bread itself could be a little bit softer for me. I think it's a bit chewier than I would like. I would give the bread a maybe 7 out of 10. All right, moving forth, y'all, we are going to our next pineapple bun. This one is from New Wheatfield Bakery. I will say it's the only one with a shiny foil backing, so thank you New Wheatfield Bakery. I actually think maybe it's just fancy Wheatfield Bakery. I keep attaching the new to it because it is a newer bakery in the Chinatown area. If you walk in, it's got like a modern space and it looks a lot more elevated than your classic mom and pop Chinese bakery. So let's peel this foil off and give it a go. Ooh. Upon first glance, the crust is a little bit paler than I would like, but it does look pretty solid. The bun itself is super golden. You could definitely tell they put a decent egg wash on there. The bun itself is so fluffy and light. I was super impressed. When I bit into it, my teeth kind of just like sank into it. It was like a soft, soft pillow. I love that. The crust itself is a little bit sweeter than the other two that I've tried already. I will say it's a little bit more of a sugar-forward crust, and I would have liked it to be a little bit more browned on the top and a little bit more caramelized. I think that would have elevated the pineapple bun to the next level. But overall, this is not a bad pineapple bun. It is pretty solid. I would give the crust a 8 out of 10. It is a little bit paler than I would have liked, but still is pretty sweet, and I like sweet stuff, so I'm not mad at it. And then in terms of the bread itself, I would give the bread a 9 out of 10. It is solid. It is super fluffy. So cheers to Wheatfield Bakery's pineapple bun. I'm not sick of pineapple buns yet, but are you guys? I am not sure. Now we are on to Yummy Bakery's pineapple bun. I will say that this is the most oblong-shaped pineapple bun I've probably ever seen. It really just looks like an oval and it looks like a solid bun. Maybe it didn't rise as much as like the circular buns. It's a little bit flatter if you can tell. I was a little skeptical at first, but I love the crust to bread ratio. Like literally every inch of the bread or bun is covered by this crust. So every bite that you get is packed with sugar. And then the bread itself is pretty solid. I wish it was a little bit fluffier and lighter. It's still really soft, but I think because of the shape, or I don't know, because of the thick crust or something, it didn't rise as much as I would have liked it to. But I am pleasantly surprised by Yummy Bakery and Cafe's pineapple bun. They also gave this to us like piping hot right out of the oven. I guess they make things to order. When we got these pineapple buns, like came in like a plastic baggie and I like couldn't even hold it because it was so hot. I will give Yummy Bakery's pineapple buns crust a 9 out of 10. It is good. And then the bread, like I mentioned, I wished it was a little bit loftier, so I would give the bread like a 7 out of 10. All right, we're feeling the bread, we're feeling the bread. It is hitting me. Next one is from New Hollywood Bakery. Okay, the story with this one is that we also got them fresh in a plastic bag, and I feel like some of the crust got like stuck to the edge of the plastic bag. So it doesn't look as beautiful as it did in its prime, but don't worry, it's still really solid looking, I think. I will say it's the most yellow pineapple bun. I don't know if they use artificial coloring or dye, but it is quite yellow compared to the other buns that we have here. It is a pretty hefty bread. Picking it up, it was like a solid struggle compared to all these other lighter and fluffier breads. So we'll see if the bread is good or if it's like really dense or if it's just like big in size. Okay, my fear was that this bread would be super dense because when I picked it up, it was really heavy, but that was not the case. I think this was just a really big, solid bun, but biting into it, the bread was still light and fluffy, really nice to touch and squeeze. And the crust is, well, the crust leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't think the crust is awful. I just think it's pretty sweet, and I like more of a golden brown crust like I mentioned, so this one's pretty pale in coloring and the flavor isn't really that complex to me. I would say the bun gets a 9 out of 10, it's pretty good. And then the crust for me gets like a 7 out of 10. We've made it, y'all. We have made it to the last pineapple bun that we are taste testing today, and it is from Garden Bakery. I just like to highlight Garden Bakery because I think it's where all the locals go. There were a ton of old Asian folks at their different tables, chatting, eating different pastries, sipping on tea. It was super great to see, and I feel like if the locals go there, it's usually a promising sign. Without further ado, let's look at the crushed Garden Bakery pineapple bun. This is my bad. I would not blame the bakery at all for this. I guess like when they packaged it, it went into a plastic bag, so it kind of got squashed. I got some egg tarts as well, so everything was just like kind of condensed all together, and I do think they were kind of warm when they went in. So I think it's just a testament to how soft this bread is, okay? Like, yes, it looks like a hot mess, but like, so am I, and you know, I can relate to those things, okay? I think I need to take another bite to really get into that crust. The crust, delicious. I would give the crust a 10 out of 10. Good job, Garden Bakery. That is a solid sugar crust. I was like anticipating the bread to be pretty soft because it got like all squished and messed up in the bag. The bread is kind of dense. It is not that lofty after all. This was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought the bread would be better. But the crust, definitely a saving grace. So the crust gets a 10 out of 10, and the bread, I would say gets like a 6 out of 10, y'all. It really wasn't that good. The locals kind of know where it's at, I guess. Like overall, if someone handed me this pineapple bun, I would not be mad and I would eat it. I'm just being picky because I have 6 to choose from today. That's a wrap on the pineapple bun taste test. We tried out 6 different pineapple buns from the San Francisco Chinatown area, and now I am ready to reveal the winners to you all. I did some calculations and I looked at the average scores of all the pineapple buns and the ratings that I gave them, and I'm happy to announce that the winner is, a drum roll please, first place goes to Fancy New Wheatfield Bakery. This is our #1 winner for the best pineapple bun. I think overall it had the softest bread to really bite into, and the crust itself was also very delicious. Maybe it wasn't my favorite crust, but I think overall it just outperformed the others. So second place is literally a tie between 4 places, which I know isn't that helpful, but I'll just rattle them out for you real quick. But it's Double A Bakery, New Hollywood Bakery, Garden Bakery, as well as Yummy Bakery and Cafe. I had to look at that one. But all 4 of those pineapple buns are very solid. They all got an average score of 8 out of 10. Maybe like some of them were better at the crust, maybe some of them were better at the bun. So you kind of have to like weigh, you know, which one do you prioritize more? Which one do you value more? If you're a bun person, like go for the bread maybe. And if you are like a crust person, then like go for something with a really good crust. And last but not least, coming in last place is Napoleon Bakery's pineapple bun. It is the first one that I tried, and it had just like the saddest crust and really just too dense and dry in terms of the bread. I will not be going back for you. Okay, well that is an overview of our winners of today's pineapple bun taste test. Overall though, I would definitely encourage you all to go to a Chinese bakery at some point in your local Chinatown and definitely get the experience of just like going into one of these bakeries, being yelled at by an Asian auntie, because that's how it is. If you don't have cash, make sure you bring cash as well, and pick up a pineapple bun and let me know what you think down below in the comments. I also know that San Francisco has a ton of different places to get pineapple buns. I know I need to try Pineapple King Bakery for sure. That is on my list. But tell me which places I need to check out. Leave them in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a part 2 pineapple bun tour video. And that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you liked it and want to see more. I will see you all next week with an all new video. Bye everyone.